Hey guys, in this video, we're gonna go over a full review of this tiny camper. Before we do that, if you're looking to build one from scratch, we have two videos in addition to this one. The first video is just on the trailer frame, build it totally from scratch, steel, axles, everything. And the second video is kind of a how-to. It's kind of a brief video as far as doesn't cover every detail. So if you just want an idea on how to build, what it entails, that video is perfect for you. Those are both in the description. Also, probably the most requested resource I have is the Excel sheet that I kept up with while we built this. It has every item we purchased, how much they cost. Almost all of it has a link to the item that I bought. And so some are discontinued, some prices have changed, obviously, but it gives you a really good idea of what it's gonna cost. This camper, tiny camper, 5 foot wide, 10 foot long, cab size, 4 foot tall. We haven't had it weighed yet. I'm guessing 1,500 pounds, give or take, 200-300, probably more than it would be less. Tows like a dream, backs up amazingly. Overall, awesome camper build. So now we're gonna take a look inside, and this is the most customizable part of any camper. If you're doing it yourself, this is where you can go extreme or keep it really simple. I've seen all kinds of ways. And so first of all, as you open up, I left the inside fiberglass, but not painted. And so it looked really good. The plan was to paint it, but it actually ended up looking really good. So this is a rather simple galley. It has a butcher block countertop. We spared no expense there, but it made it pop, made it look really good. Two side cubbies. We store our water jug just right down here while we're traveling, and once we get to our spot, we pull it up. I plan on buying another one of those, but anyway. And this is where kind of the focus was. Our whole galley was built around this 55 quart cooler. It's a lifetime cooler. Obviously, I love the cooler. You don't want to know how much research I did on coolers before I picked this one, but it fits perfectly. Slides in nice and neat, heavy duty, soft close drawers, blah, blah, blah. It's awesome. Also have this extra deep drawer here. We put our skillet in here, some cooking stuff, matches, silverware, cups, you know, what have you. Whatever you want to put in here. Again, soft close, doesn't slam. That also helps keep it secure while we're traveling. Once you get inside, not only is this butcher block incredible, but we have dual USB right here. And so that is powered by the battery, works anytime. And I've got 2 plugs here and 2 plugs here to run your coffee pot, phone charger if hooked up to shore power or to a generator. So we use it for our coffee pot, obviously. But you could also take your little air fryer or literally anything. So I got 4 plugs there, and then I'll show you in a second, but there's also another set of plugs in the front for a heater, air conditioner, or anything else. So now we're inside. Now this still has room for lots of options. You can go with cabinets, open shelves, you can put a TV, iPad rack. I mean, their options are limitless, but you're here to see what we did. So first of all, we had a little bit of scrap butcher block from the galley counter, and we used it up here as a cover for the electrical unit. And so this is our electrical panel with access here. And again, those are the 2 plugs. Inside, we have a pass-through air vent. Very important for your safety. You need to have fresh airflow. You got 2 people and a dog in here. You burn up a lot of oxygen really quick. And so you want just natural airflow through here. And that's waterproof, all this and that. But also we have a air and vent right here. And so, I don't know if you can hear that or not, but that's the vent, that's the light, and there's the light and the vent. And it's run off the battery or shore power. And so you can use that anywhere. 2 windows, 1 on each side. And also the door has a window in it as well. So along with the windows, fresh air and cool air is very important to my wife and I. And so we didn't want to spend $500 or $1,000 on a rooftop air conditioner. We also didn't want the size of one on top. And there's the whole point of a mini camper. You don't want it to be huge. And we didn't like the window unit necessarily. I didn't know how to make that work. And so I actually set it on portable air conditioning unit. And so for camping in the spring or fall or winter, I can just roll it out of the way, take it out. But also up here in the front, we have LED lights on the front, in the back, and in the middle. Super efficient. It can run on batteries for days. It doesn't even register when I hook it up to the generator of any ampage. So that's really cool. And then again, we have your storage up here at the top for games. That's kind of what we store over here, our cell phone, and we have some tissue, the remote for the air conditioner, and some blankets, all this and that. And probably the best thing, so a lot of campers are 4x8, and the reason is it's really easy to build. We want a 5x10 for two reasons. We want a 5 wide because it's me, my wife, and our 90-pound German Shepherd. So we need a little extra room. Also, I'm 6'3", 6'4", my wife is 5'8", and again, we have that German Shepherd. So we needed the length. We wanted the galley, we wanted a queen-size bed, and I wanted a little bit of open space for our shoes, for our dog sit down, for our bags. And so we didn't want a huge camper, but we also didn't want something that we couldn't fit in. And so that's why we chose 5x10. And if I had to do it over again, I wouldn't go less than 5 and I wouldn't go less than 10. So now we're at the front of the camper. And so again, talking about the air conditioner, we had a real problem of how do we get the exhaust to port outside of the camper. So every air conditioner has to have an exhaust. And so we ended up settling on this. It's just a little 6-inch port. Again, this is in my Excel sheet. Be sure to take a look at that. I think it'll really be beneficial to you. Everyone that has seen it has raved about it. And this costs like 10, 15 bucks, can't remember. It's in the Excel sheet if I need to know. But anyway, so this shoots out all that exhaust from the air conditioner. And so that keeps it cold in there. And then easily just pop it back on, no issue, to keep water out, what have you. But also in the front, this is what tells you this is a custom build camper. My buddy Josh, who's filming right now, decided or had the idea of putting a hitch receiver on the front of the camper. I know, it's crazy, right? Now, obviously you see why we did it, but this gives you options. I could put a bike rack right here. I could put this cargo rack right here. And this cargo rack works in many different ways. I can store firewood, but also it's very helpful for when I need to wash the top. I can stand on it. I got plenty of room. I can wash it very easily. It's very nice. Also, I highly recommend, if you don't do bed liner on your whole camper, certainly do it up here in the front because you're always scratching it up. You got this thing sliding all over it. If you do just regular automotive paint, it's just gonna scratch up way too quickly. So definitely go with bed liner on the frame in the front. And then moving along to the left side or driver's side, you see we bought these boxes that I need to touch up with some black paint, but for your wires to go in, some of these are from the battery, which we'll get to in a second, and some of them are your electrical lights. And this is our shore power, and so every camper has one or should, and so I can plug in right here if we're at a campsite, or if I have a generator hooked up, and that powers all of our electronics that's not hooked up to the battery. And so if I want to plug my coffee pot in, I gotta have shore power. And then moving along here, this is that vent I talked about, and up on top, you see our exhaust vent. Real sleek, that's why I bought it. Got your fenders, real awesome. But here is interesting. So you won't see a battery on a camper like this. Again, it's custom. And here's why we did that. Honestly, it came down to tongue weight. We had too much tongue weight. And so this is one way. We push 100 pounds to the back. That helped alleviate some tongue weight, and it actually works pretty well because it's out of the way. You're never on this side. And on the back, now this is where you want to listen, okay? So these are refrigerator or appliance hinges. You can get a 2-pack for like 10 or 20 bucks. Again, it's in my Excel sheet. But if you go looking for actual camper door hinges, they're like $80, $90 a piece. And so it's DIY, you're doing it yourself, you might as well save some money. And they look awesome. You wouldn't know the difference between this and a camper hinge. So that looks great. Two other things in the back. These lights are sequential turn lights, and so they slide kind of like the newer Mustangs. Really cool, really pops in traffic. Every time I hit a blinker, turn my flashers on, it catches the attention of those behind me. And I do that for two reasons. I never want to get rear-ended, but especially on something that I built with my own sweat, blood, and tears. And that's not a joke. All three of those were involved in this build. But also in the back, again, have a hitch receiver right here. I can put a bike rack here. I can put a cargo rack. Theoretically, I could throw some brakes on here and double tow. Probably will never do that, but I might, you never know. And lastly, we have 4 stabilizer jacks on this camper. A lot of mini campers only have 2 plus the tongue jack. We've got 4 of these, 1, 2, and 2 in the front plus a tongue jack. It's super secure. Allows me to camp anywhere, know it's not gonna slide away or be unlevel or anything else. When we're inside, you don't feel it shifting. I highly recommend that. Also, just a little pro tip, don't waste your time with that little hand crank. And you got 4 of them, don't do it. Go get you a drill, $100, Home Depot, put your attachment on there, and no problem, you're done. All right, now listen real close to this, because this is where the value of this video is gonna be, okay? So this hopefully has inspired you to give you some ideas. Again, if you're building a custom camper, you're watching this just for ideas, not exactly how to copy it. So, you've seen what we did. Now let's talk about what we didn't do, what we regret, some things we didn't do on purpose and we like it better, and whatnot. So first of all, I'm gonna cover exterior lighting. We did add some side markers for traveling, but while we're camping, we have no exterior lighting. A lot of people will put a light up here or some LED underglow, and so I wish I would have done that. But one way I have found out how to easily solve it is some Home Depot lights. I got Black Friday, a 2-pack for $10, can't beat it. Turn it on, magnetic right there to the frame. Can't beat that. That seems to be fine. You can also pick up, gosh, this thing was free, I think, at Harbor Freight with a coupon. I mean, if not, it's like $3 at Harbor Freight. It'd be nice to have an LED switch, light this whole thing up. So that's one thing. Probably the biggest issue we've had, so listen to this. I mentioned to you our portable air conditioner unit inside. The biggest issue we have is the first time we took it camping, it was a little hot out in Southwest Missouri. We took it out, turned the air conditioner on, went to the bathhouse, got settled, came back to the camper about 20 minutes later, and there was a pool of water in our camper. Now, luckily, my wife did a really good job of putting urethane on the floor, completely waterproof, and so it didn't cause any issues, but it was about this close, zoom in, that close to flooding our mattress, our foam mattress, and that wouldn't have been good. That would have been a mildew issue, blah, blah, blah. And so one thing I'm having to do is I'm having to cut a hole or drill a hole right in the middle of my floor and run a tube down to let that air conditioner drainage leak out. And so that's been an issue. Do plan ahead for that. Also, the air conditioner, the exhaust port, like I mentioned, you saw in the video earlier, it kind of shoots out the front. That's no problem, except for I don't know what I'm gonna do if it's raining and I need the air conditioner running. I'll cross that bridge when I get there, because it's just an open 6-inch hole on my camper with no rain diverter or anything. And so I probably should have thought ahead a little bit better there. Now let's talk about the comfort. So first issue, again, I'm 6'3", 6'4". This is a 30-inch opening. 36 would be a lot nicer. So if you're above like 5'5", I would go with a 36-inch door, especially on a 4-foot tall camper. Seems to be no issue. I would definitely go with a 36 if you can do it. The other thing is we don't have any blinds or curtains on our 2 windows or our door. And so luckily nobody wants to see me without clothes. But just in case, we probably should get some curtains on there. I haven't figured out how I'm gonna do that. I was hoping I could just magnetically stick some curtains up, but this is aluminum or something, and so magnets don't work on it. Now there's some things you only can learn by trial and error or experience, or whatever you want to call it. And this is one of those things. I installed 2 keyed latches, both by the same key, so I wasn't that dumb. But the issue is, while we're camping, we had to have this key nonstop to lock it, to unlock it. Now I don't lock both of them each time, but one thing I'm going to add is a 3rd latch right here, a simple thumb latch. And that way we can leave it unlocked while we're by the fire, or while we're grilling or whatever, and just do a simple thumb latch and that'll keep it closed. Here are 3 things that I wish I had more money to do. And so if you're looking at spending $5,000, $10,000, fully custom, your forever camper, tiny camper, here are 3 things I highly recommend. First of all, lithium battery, okay? Even if it's the same size of a deep cell, you get twice the amount of use out of it. And that's a whole other topic, but definitely get a lithium battery. Now you could go a step above that and get solar panels. We're not quite to that level. We don't need solar panels on this. It'd be nice if someone gave them to me. Yeah, I put them on, but don't necessarily need that. I do wish we had a lithium battery. Second thing, it would be really nice to have a propane tank stored to the side or on the front with a line running to a stove on the inside, or even just a line running to the back. And so I didn't have to lug the propane tank around to wherever I got my griddle going or grill or anything else. So lithium battery, a propane line, those are two things I would definitely want to have. The third thing, this kind of makes me an old man maybe, I don't know, but I would love an electric tongue jack. And so my truck's got a 7-pin, and so it wouldn't be a problem at all. But I get tired of having to sit there and crank that hand jack all day. And so to have a little electric button up and down real quick, I would like that. But again, not a necessity. And at $100, $200, I'm definitely not spending money on that until I'm at least 50. So again, I hope you've enjoyed this video. My goodness, I can't say it enough. Check out that Excel sheet, because everybody's always asking me, how much did it cost? What'd you buy? Where'd you get it at? And I send them that list and they're like, oh my gosh, thank you, Darren. And so I hope that list is helpful to you. Look at the other two videos if you're looking to figure out how to build a trailer frame for a camper or for just something else. Great resource for that. And then again, there's another video of kind of the process of what we did of how to build it. It's not a full tutorial. It doesn't tell you to use which screw when, but some helpful tips on what to do. It gives you a good idea of what the process is like. Would I do it again? Yes. Would I schedule out more time and push it out over a longer period? Absolutely. Don't try to hurry through it. Don't try to just get it done. Also, don't build it in your friend's garage, because sometimes they want their garage back, and when it's in 300 pieces, you can't just haul it away. So thank you, Josh, for letting me use your garage for like 2 months or something like that. I hope this has been helpful. Look at those other two videos, look at the Excel sheet, and happy camping to you.